Yes, Michael Scott is ridiculous, but he's also a business genius. He did everything right when he launched the Michael Scott Paper Company. Yeah, I said what I said. He dodged 5 of the most expensive business mistakes that freelancers and small business owners make. So what's his secret? What does he know that we don't? I dissected the next level advanced strategies Michael used and put together the Scott Success Sequence, a 5-principle proprietary framework for launching any business successfully. If you're missing even just one of these 5 principles, you'll be yelling,
"I declare bankruptcy!"
before the fiscal year ends. So are you ready for the first principle? All right, let's do it. Principle 1 is to start scrappy and do not get distracted by fake tasks. If 3 people working in a closet sharing one computer isn't scrappy, I honestly don't know what is. When the Michael Scott Paper Company started, there were no fancy logos, no 493-step sales funnels, or even business cards. Now, before you pull a gym look at the camera, hear me out. Forget the logo. Forget having a website and a domain. Forget business cards. This is an American Psycho. Yes, those are fun to make, but they're all distractions if you don't have any clients or money coming in. And I know, you see other freelancers who have all the fanciness, but they've already gone through the scrappy phase and they're allowed to work on the fanciness now. Your only focus when you're starting should be on getting in front of clients. Any clients for the most part, so you can get things rolling and get it going. And all you really need when you're starting is a portfolio to show clients what you can do. That's all you need. You don't need anything else really. By the way, I have an entire video on how to use Notion as a freelancing portfolio. I'll link it below, and yes, it comes with a free portfolio template. So once you have that, it's time to get out there. You need direct contact with people who can pay you money via Instagram, via email, via networking, via walking into their store, via LinkedIn, via TikTok, via snail mail, whatever, right? Because remember that pancake luncheon they hosted, the Michael Scott Paper Company, the one that got like 6 RSVPs and 11 no's out of the 788 people that were invited? It may be easy to label that as a flop, but it ended up with Pam winning her first sale. That is the power of getting the word out about your services, no matter how many rejections or ignored emails you get, because just like Michael, you will get many. It's normal. But if you're spending all your time on all these fake productive tasks, you'll be wasting that precious energy and time instead. Time and energy that should be spent going through job boards, sending out your cold pitches, or tweaking your portfolio and making it better. That's why you need to prioritize getting out there to play the numbers game. A creative name, cool logo, and sleek website are not going to pay your lighting bill. Clients and invoices will. So how can you get in front of just one client today? All right, principle 2 is to assemble a free dream team. Do not dump your money into expensive mentors, coaches, and courses yet. And I'm saying this as a course creator myself, so good job, Dea. Good marketing. You don't need the best, most expensive software, mentors, or mastermind groups to start freelancing or start a small business. Michael scraped together the people he had available to him to get his business started, which was, as a reminder, a receptionist with no sales experience, a bowling alley employee who got fired from his previous company, and a fellow call center salesman. And he was still able to find success. So I promise you can start with what you already have. And here's the catch. Instead of your dream team being a team of people, it's actually going to be a team of tools to save you time and to make you look real fancy to clients. This team of tools are project management tools to streamline your processes and a podcast or YouTube bestie to help you through it all. That's me. I want to be your business bestie. If we flash back to when I started freelancing 7 years ago, I assembled my team at the grand total of $0. Everything free. I watch free YouTube videos. I use the free version of Asana. I use the free Google. Shout out to Google. Organize clients through my free notes app. Use my free Google Drive to do everything I needed. And yes, eventually, when I was making a little bit of money, I began investing cash into things that could develop my skills so I could charge more or, help me deliver better results and save time so clients would want to pay me more money. But for a beginner freelancer, that's not necessary. I'd suggest some of these tools for your dream team tech stack. Asana for organizing clients. Asana is very similar to ClickUp or Trello. Think of this as your Pam. Organizes everything and you can't live without it. Notion is another great option for organizing clients and creating client dashboards for them. I mean, even your notes app will work. I used that for a long time as well. Second thing, Google Drive. Everything. Just everything went into Google Drive for me. I was a Google Drive super user or something. Docs, slides, sheets, drawings. I used it all and it didn't even cost a shirtbuck. Dipsado for client onboarding. This was essentially to put a professional touch on my client onboarding and to actually make sure they were paying me on time. So Dipsado would remind clients when their bill would be due, send welcome emails, and would let me know if someone hadn't paid their invoice yet after their due date. And yeah, I've got a free video all about how to set up onboarding in Dipsado that I'll link below. Okay, principle 3 is to start with the hard things, knowing that they are just a temporary phase. Just like the Michael Scott Paper Company team waking up at the crack of dawn to deliver paper themselves, I knew that there were some things at the start of my freelancing journey that I wouldn't have to do forever. I had to essentially pay my dues, right? So that I could leverage my beginner level skills to get things like client testimonials, reviews, portfolio samples that I could then show to other clients and slowly begin to make more money. Now, if you're at the beginning of your freelancing journey, this might mean saying yes to all sorts of jobs so you can figure out what you like and don't like, and getting more and more specific about the kind of work you want to be doing as a freelancer. So I tried out transcription, voiceover work, data entry, content management, content assisting, Photoshop editing, and even like I spent an hour looking up how to use an app for a client because they were too busy to do it themselves. I got paid for that, right? It wasn't until I did all of those things, like super different things, painful as they were sometimes, and sometimes even did them with like Netflix on in the background, that I knew I would find what worked for me eventually, which ended up being a combination of what I loved about, content management, organizing, systems, holding people accountable. And I put that together into like a freelance digital business manager role. And it really does take a special amount of patience to do this like type of initial hard work. So I totally get it if you're starting right now and you're already feeling exhausted, because you're like living the life of an entrepreneur, doing that dirty, tedious work before being able to reap the rewards of no alarm clocks and 4-hour workdays. The hard things that you're doing in the beginning, they won't last forever. Soon, they'll be replaced by other hard things. So in this season of business, put in the work and think of your future self who's living their best life. That's who you're doing the hard work for. Obviously boundaries and all, take good care of yourself beyond everything else, but you get it. Now let's get into principle 4, which is to know your industry. And I know, so boring, so Toby, but do you want to make money? I thought so. So this principle is all about doing your research and seeing what others in your industry are not delivering on. Now, Michael was at a special advantage because his competition was the company he worked for years, but he was paying attention to what was going on in the industry, and he was able then to use that knowledge to negotiate and win a deal to get all their jobs back, even Ryan's at Dunder Mifflin. So that exact same approach should be going for you, especially when you're just getting started. It's about staying keen on what other people with the same job title as you are doing. If you're a graphics designer, don't just say, wow, there are a lot of other graphic designers, I'm doomed, it's oversaturated. See what they're doing, and more importantly, see what they're not doing. Are there opportunities there? Maybe you notice as you work with clients that nobody is really specializing specifically to graphic design for sustainable brands. You're passionate about that? Do that. Be that person, right? Think about, how can I deliver a better service, a faster service, a more suited service, a more customized service, an easier service? How can I make it even easier to work with me? What are my clients struggling with truly? What keeps them from making more money in their businesses? What's keeping them from their dream business? What are they frustrated by? How can I make things simpler for them? So for me, for example, I kept noticing that my clients were struggling with hiring, keeping track of projects and getting things done, and systems. So guess what I offered them next? Yeah, graphic design. Just kidding. I offered project team and systems management. They loved it. They paid me more money. Everyone won. It was a glorious day. So stay sharp. Keep your eye on your clients. Take notes. Be empathetic. Be that person they go to when they have problems, because when you solve bigger problems and more relevant problems for clients, they pay you more money. Okay, cool. Now, last but not least, a real fun principle. Principle 5 says, when things are slow, gamify. We all know that one of the biggest parts of freelancing, especially at the beginning, is the ebb and flow. Sometimes it feels like you're working for 8 hours straight, and other times you're sitting around hearing crickets. So when there isn't a lot to do, make a game. So for Michael, Ryan, and Pam, it was through cheese puff competitions as they were waiting around. But for you, it could be tracking how many cold pitches you do in a day, how many calls you get on in a week, how many sample portfolio items you can build up in your backlog. And if you want a free walkthrough of how to gamify your entire freelancing journeys with treats and rewards, I have a video all about turning freelancing into a game with a totally free Notion template to boot. And maybe, just maybe, that game will be just as fun as seeing how many cheese puffs you can catch in your mouth, but I'm not promising. Anyway, you can click here to roll that video. Yay! As always, thanks so much for watching, and catch you in the next one. Okay, bye!